Hey guys, Jeff here with Jeff's Custom RC coming at you tonight with Flight Club Round 11. And tonight we have special guest Steve Laughlin with Killer Planes, guys. We all know Steve and the beautiful Miss Denise.
The lovely Denise.
The lovely Denise. That's right. So what's
I like
up?
the Miss Denise.
How are you, man?
It's like Miss Piggy.
He's talking to you.
Oh, sorry. I get to talk to her anytime. How's it going?
What's up, buddy? What's up, Dustin? How you doing, man?
Doing well, my friend. Just another week going by.
Another week
always
stuck in the house. It's okay if you've been working at home for 25 years like we have, so it's all the same.
Hey, we've all been working at home for the last, 8 weeks now with quarantine, so, it's already killing me, you know what I mean?
My home has turned into my workplace here.
That's right.
Oh, wait. I know it.
We lost Steve.
Uh-oh. So, guys, you all know Steve, and he's been rebuilding planes and putting them back together for a while now.
Yeah.
And earlier tonight that Motion RC's got a new contest for crashing.
Is it safe?
This is how it's done.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is it safe?
Yeah, the nose has got to be out, man. Or
It's what's safe.
So yeah, guys. So Steve's been rebuilding and putting planes back together for a long time. I've been watching this stuff for several years now, and learning some new tricks. So Steve, tell us how you and the beautiful wife got into doing this, man.
I dragged her into it, actually.
Kicking
It's pretty
and
funny because how I got into this in the first place was that I had seen somebody's video of them flying a plane, and the guy was there with his wife making the video, and then she flew the plane. And I watched it, and being the sexist pig that I am, I said, if she can fly a plane, I can fly one too. So I bought a plane, and then we went out in the yard, and Denise hand launched it for me. Perfect hand launch, and the plane went made a right, hit the corner of the house, broke into 4 pieces. It was like a 1.5 second flight, and then it took me 2 hours to fix the plane in the shop, and I came out of the shop like, who designs this crap? That was it. I immediately started looking for things to beef them up, and it took me a while to actually even find carbon fiber, since I'm an old-fashioned wood guy, so I was doing bamboo and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Then I discovered carbon fiber and started testing it. Totally blew me away. The stuff that this does when you combine it with foam and plastic basically makes it into a pogo stick. So it's pretty cool. Flying pogo sticks. Except if you get hit by them, then it's more like a flying baseball bat. So
That's the thing. I mean, like I said, I've been watching you put in, carbon fiber and reinforce and things like that for a long time. And I've got a lot of your tips and used them in my planes. Matter of fact, this plane right here, the AL-37, which is a big airliner by Motion RC, when I actually get around to putting it together, where the fuselage and the rear end connects together, there's only 2 pieces of factory carbon rod. And I'm going to be putting in more all the way around it because that's a weak point, and I've seen it with other guys flying. So,
yep, it definitely works. It's kind of amazing the amount of strength and flexibility that's in carbon fiber compared to pretty much every other material you're familiar with.
Right.
Nothing compares to it. It's really like super material. As Boeing well knows, they made the 787 out of it. We knew this guy bought some planes from us, and he worked for a company that tests Boeing airliners for Boeing. So I was talking to him, and he said it's freaky walking around the inside of the plane because in a normal plane there's ribs every 6 inches or something like that. He said in the 787 there's only a rib every 2 feet, and it's just to keep the thing from vibrating. So it's a monocoque shell of carbon fiber, and It's unbelievably strong, way stronger than regular planes. So carbon fiber I can't use regular language that I use every day here, can I?
I can't beep it out, so you gotta.
Yeah,
Well,
we got a 7-second delay going. I can say anything I want.
Do you have a specific where where do you typically go to buy yours at? I mean, is there a particular vendor you get it from?
Oh, the carbon fiber, we order it bulk.
Okay.
Everything's from China nowadays.
Right.
So after a few years of testing things out and figuring out what sizes we needed, we had everything made to order for what we use it for. And so we have all those sizes that we have in stock that we sell to make reinforcement kits like the ones that we do.
Right. Okay. Well, I watched your video. I think it was a couple of days ago where you were actually doing some hinges on an aileron on an airplane, and you were using like milk jug plastic.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was pretty cool too, man. Watching that.
HDPE.
Love
it.
it.
And it's funny how this stuff came about for me because I'm an old-fashioned engineering type designer, so I'm really used to structure, this, that, and the other thing. And I was crashing planes like crazy, and they were still breaking the faster I went. Something else would break. One day I'm in the schoolyard, crashed a plane over there, so I had to go over and get it. And I'm walking across the parking lot, and I stepped on something, and I looked down, and it's like a Pez dispenser that had clearly been in the schoolyard for about 3 years and driven over by 8 million cars. But it wasn't cracked anywhere. It was just flat, and it looked like gravel, but there were no cracks in it. And I said, the hell is this? So I get home, and I pull all the plastic out of the garbage, and I started testing it, and ended up, I figured out it was HDPE, which is milk jugs, all kinds of jars like protein powder jars and stuff like that are made from it. If it says HDPE on the bottom, and it's practically indestructible and very flexible. So you combine that, carbon fiber, HDPE, and foam, and it's like...
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I mean, I'm constantly saving stuff for working on whatever. But yeah, that's good to know, and I like the hinges. That was really good for any of these guys that need to beef up hinges or don't have, if you didn't order any. That's pretty cool to know you can do something like that.
Yeah, somebody left a comment on there that they had used a toothpaste tube for hinges, and I said, brilliant. That's probably even better because it's even more flexible. It's like permanently flexible plastic. And it's so strong. It's really no comparison to foam. It's like 800 times stronger than it at the same thickness or whatever it is. So I
don't know if you're aware or not. Since you're into modding planes and beefing them up, Dustin has developed a set of aluminum plates that he is actually CNC machined in his shop, which is part of what he does as well as machining. And these plates are awesome. And he's beefed up the landing gear for the F-14. Dustin, if you got one of those handy, you could throw it and show him. He also did the battery tray for the F-14 as well.
Wow.
Whoa, baby.
Nice.
That's for the gear?
Yes.
Yeah, because the F-14
to
has,
fasten it to. And...
Yeah, so F-14 is got the swept wings. So the factory, and this is actually Rich, our senior former, developed this. I'm just manufacturing it, and we've collaborated on this, made some design changes. But basically, from these two holes here down is added rigidity to the main landing gear. So this whole top part piece here is stock, and then we just add this bottom piece.
Okay, does that go to the nose gear?
No, this is actually the main gear.
Nice.
So
Wow.
your actual
Is there a
pivot
piece of aluminum in the factory plane?
Yeah.
Like that? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive.
That F-14, it's a heavy bird. I mean, it's like the A-10, but the A-10's got a lot more surface area on the wings, and it's more aerodynamic. But it's heavy. I mean, there's no way around it. I mean, it is the second heaviest plane I got. I think mine comes out like at 14 pounds.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's heavier than my A10 is like 12 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That A10 is kick butt clean. My brother used to be he was a Navy pilot, but before that he was an avionics guy on F-14s, and
so
he turned out to be really good. So in the course of his career as an avionics guy, he was like, he had the run of the place at Miramar. So we used to be able to go over there and get in F-14s and sit in the cockpits and walk around on the wings and stuff. It was a trip.
Yeah, that's killer. That would be awesome. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Hey, Dustin, give us a roll call. I see a lot of guys. We got 37 in here tonight. See a lot of regulars in here tonight.
Oh yeah, we got Mr. Brian Chambers. We got Mr. Photon. We got Ray. We got Eric RC. We got Brendan, just plain crazy. We all know he's crazy.
I like that.
We got Dave's RC, Mike SS. We've got Reckham Roy. We got Mikey BRC, Mike
GB
Kella.
Linden.
We got GB Linden.
Yeah.
Let's see, Wild Bill, EQRC. Oh, EQRC, I need to talk to you. Victor Shameless. Oh, speaking of which, man, I know I commented on it. I'm sure Jeff, you saw the video of his.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah.
For the very few moments that it was actually in the air, it looked damn good. And then but it's talking about how he had the gyro backwards. Hey, and it's happened to me.
And you know what, Dustin? You know,
had the blade backwards on it, you mean?
Yeah, and the thing about that is, too, guys, you know, I saw a couple of comments to Victor, you know, basically kind of giving him a hard time. You know, guys, look, come on. We've all made mistakes. And, you know, Victor's skills speak for themselves, man. I've seen Victor fly some amazing planes. He's got great skills. I mean, so we've even seen Pilot Ryan, you know, do the same thing with the Corsair. So we all make mistakes. So don't give people a hard time because, you know, they fly with a gyro or because they made a mistake. And, you know, I see that in some of you guys' comments. You know, come on. You know, we're all human here. And, yeah, he made a mistake. Big deal. At least he owned it. He put it up on YouTube. And I commend you for that, Victor. And, you know, awesome. Props to you, buddy. And, hey, watch tonight. And I bet Steve could help you fix it.
Well, yeah. We always say to people when they want to know, you know, why do you reinforce planes? I say, I'm a pretty good pilot, but gravity is always good.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Well, you know, I mean, it's like watching you, you know, and I watch a lot of Brian Phillips stuff too, and Skip Build RC.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the thing I like about you and all these other guys, you guys can find stuff around your typical shop to fix things with, I mean, without having to go to a hobby shop or somewhere and buy it. And that's what's so cool. I mean, you know, we all get in a tight sometimes in a pinch, and how do I fix this? Well, dag, I can't order just that part or whatever. So I think it's cool that, you know, all of you guys show us new ways and things we might not have thought about it, and it gives us an aha moment, and it goes, I've got some of that laying around. I just threw a piece away. Let me go get it, you know? So, yeah, I think it's great, man. I love it. Love it.
Awesome.
It is. It's pretty funny. People come into our shop and they see my various piles. I have piles of pieces of plastic of different shapes, piles of little pieces of plywood. They're like, what do you keep this crap for? Don't touch that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, man.
My stuff.
Look, one man's junk is another man's treasure.
Exactly.
I mean, look, I keep parts. I have buckets of parts from airplanes, you know? And my wife, if I crash something, she's like, why would you save all those parts? I'm like, because you never know when you're going to need it. Look, hey, I think we ought, look, I cut the old wires off of servo.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? All right? Don't get rid of nothing, man. You never know.
The wires with the plugs on them, too.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So what's coming out next for you guys? What are you guys working on now?
Well, we're working on the shark videos for the Kickstarter project. Oh, we didn't talk about that, did we?
No.
I was saying, we already talked about it.
We did earlier, yes.
We we've been testing out our reinforcement designs on one platform for years, which was the original Dynam Hawksky version 1. And it happened to have one feature in it which made it different from all the other planes that are similar to that. It has solid foam over the wing.
Okay.
And when they changed their design to the version 2, they changed it to be what everybody else had, which is a hollow thing over the wing, because somebody decided it's too clever to run wires through the hollow space over the wing. Let's do that, you know. So just that one thing makes it so that you can't really reinforce the plane the same way. So we just kept on with that and finally got it up to the point where, oh, it's right here, right. It's like, oh, hey, it's right here. This is the last Hawkfighter test version that we used, and it's been in use for about 1.5 years or 2 years now. It just passed crash number 72. We have about 45 or 50 of them on video, but you can't see it from there, but this is all the original foam parts. This is a foam airplane. It's a Dynam Hawksky V1, just modified with plastic and carbon fiber. 72 crashes. Wow. We're talking flying speed. We don't count them. We don't count like flub hand launches or anything like that. Somebody told us it's pretty stupid to not do that because those do break planes, but they never do anything to ours. So we just said, we want to know how many real crashes this thing can handle. So we just dropped off the other things and only counted when you're flying along and the plane crashes.
Yeah.
And so if it can handle those. So the Shark is like Hawkfighter on steroids, and we're coming out on Kickstarter with it because it is prohibitively expensive to do this by hand here in a shop. But have it in a factory, totally different story. On top of which, in a factory, we can do things that we cannot do by hand on a pre-made plane. Right. So if you design it in at the beginning, then you can do things to planes that we're hoping that the logical step is what happens. Essentially this, I could ask you the same question. If somebody offered you, let's say, an FMS P-51 and they cost $320, or there was another one right next to it, looks exactly the same, except you know because you've seen it before that when you crash it, it pretty much just bounces. You might break the prop. Yeah. That's like $85 more. Which one would you buy?
I'm going with the one that will bounce. I'm definitely.
That's it. I mean, it's kind of a dopey question for me. I'm like, duh.
Yeah.
I'll take the one that doesn't break. Yeah. So we're coming out with the Shark first, and then we're going to start off. We're going to give people an option and see what people want. I'm assuming it's going to be something like a Mustang or whatever. We've already figured out all the reinforcement designs so that we can pretty much make anything, a Corsair or a Mustang, like those different nose types, so that everything's protected except for the prop, basically.
Well, that's pretty cool. So when do you think you'll be having this stuff come into play where it can be purchased?
Well, the Kickstarter campaign should be up in a few weeks. All we got to do is finish making the, like make the page, make the video, that kind of stuff. We already have the plane and everything, and we're talking to people about manufacturing. It's kind of funny. The manufacturers are so, it's not that they're disinterested, they are very much not interested in this. Because I think it's maybe 70% of their profit is replacement parts.
Yeah.
And they don't want to give that up. The whole industry is based on selling replacement parts for your broken planes. Right. And you'll still need a replacement part for these every once in a while, but a whole lot less. So the way we figure it is if we can sell this the way we think we can, instead of buying replacement parts from us, you get another plane.
Ah, cool.
Yeah. What do you want parts for? Get another plane. Now you have 2 planes.
That's a winner. Well, that's the thing. Me and a friend of mine at our field were talking, and I think, Dustin's got the FMS P-47 Jug, which is a beautiful plane, and another friend of mine's got it as well. And the main drawback, from that plane that my friend was saying is that if you mess up one of the landing gear, you have to buy a whole set. You can't just buy a part. That's right. And that's a shame, because I mean that's a beautiful plane, and that for me that's a deal breaker. I wouldn't buy that plane just because I'm not going to buy a whole set of retracts if I mess up one piece on one retract.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but FMS, man, when FMS started out, you're probably aware they made one plane. It was a Mustang. I actually have their first Mustang they ever made.
Okay.
I never put it together. I still have it in the box. But they came out, of course, with a bunch of gorgeous planes, and they were like on top of the world. And then they did a bunch of what I would assume is kind of really dopey business deals, ending up with Horizon Hobby, who they somehow screwed in such a way by dealing business with somebody else that Horizon didn't want them to, that Horizon finally said, screw you, we're not. And they dumped most of their FMS line. And it's really a shame, because they made such beautiful
nice
planes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And into stuff like that, it's just.
Well, it's like Dustin's got the FMS BEA Hawk, and that's an incredible flying airplane. I've watched him rip it up with that one. I've actually thought about buying that. I know several guys. Guniac 33 Ray, he has that plane as well, and it's a beautiful flying jet. But again, I've kind of heard good met. Now I do have the FMS Beaver, the 2,000 millimeter, and I love it. It's a great flying airplane. But again, it's a simple airframe. It's got wheels, doesn't have retracts. It's just a big high wing, simple flying plane. How bad can it mess up? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But when you're getting into jets with retracts and EDFs and things like that, you're talking a different beast,
No, actually, did you say how bad can it mess up?
Well,
I remind you about that gravity thing.
Yeah. Well, it's actually I just put out a video on it. It's actually a wonderful flying plane. So far, so good. And they just came out with a version 2 of that plane as well. That's really nice looking. But, like you said, they do make beautiful planes. I'll give it to them on that. They really do.
Yeah,
Big time.
Yeah.
Actually, there's something I can recommend people do. The new P40 that they came out with, it's probably a couple of years ago at this point, the 1,400 millimeter one.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They upgraded the motor in ESC in that thing. And so it's a motor in ESC for a 3-blade prop. So if you have an older FMS FW190 or a Hellcat or any one of those 3-bladed planes, you can take that motor. You'll have to do a little farting around with your motor wall because it's a little longer. Mm-hmm. But you do that and you put that motor in those old planes, you get a new kick butt plane. That new motor. If you watch our P40 video that we made when they put it out, you can hear me in the video going, "Wow, this is so fast!" It's crazy powerful compared to the other stuff.
Yeah, because I think I saw you early on. You had a couple of the big FMS Mustangs, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The 1700 one. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah, wasn't that the yellow and silver one?
Yep.
Yeah, I love that when I saw that video you did on that plane. That was an awesome airplane.
Gorgeous planes. That's actually, there's a good example of the mysterious decisions that they make at FMS. That plane, the 1700 millimeter Mustang, has a finished cockpit in it, right?
Okay.
But the canopy doesn't open like on the 1400 millimeter ones.
Yeah.
So you can't get in and look at it.
Dang. Well, now I do have the FMS. What is it? 1400 miller V8 PD. I do have that one.
Nice.
Yep.
And that's a great flying airplane. I still have it. Flies wonderfully. But I never got the bigger one like you had. There's also a red tail, I believe, in the bigger one as well.
We have that as well.
That's the one, I guess they came out with that one afterwards, probably after the movie came out.
Okay.
That romantic red tail movie.
Yeah, because I think you have that one as well, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
How to wreck the concept of a kick butt fighter unit like the Red Tails. Let's make a romantic movie out of them. Look, honey, I'm in love with you. Let me get in my place.
How did you tell us about your logo, man? I love your logo. That is so cool. Who came up with that for you?
Tell the story.
Killer Planes.
Yeah.
Yes, we had just come up with a name, which is a story into itself. That we tried to get the corporation name, Killer Planes. Sorry, no. Why not? 9/11.
Oh.
This is New York State. I said, okay. Well, these are toys, but they wouldn't give it to us. So just get the .com name instead. And we're sitting there one day trying to think of a logo, and I'm sitting in a chair. Denise was standing right in front of me, and she had a Nantucket sweatshirt on with a shark, exactly in the shape of the plane in our logo. And I just said, "That's it." Right upstairs, got on Photoshop, and
well, I did. So, hey, anybody that likes your shirts, where can they go to get one? Because I think they're awesome.
Oh, thanks. There's a shirt page on our website, T-shirt page. So
Okay.
the Killer Planes shirt is there.
Killerplanes.com.
Killerplanes.com.
Just click the T-shirt button.
Click the T-shirt button.
You drop us a link, Dustin, for that, man.
Already ahead of you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Justin.
That's
Awesome.
because he's faster than we are. Oh, Jeff, I sent you a link for 2 videos. One is the messier Schmidt. This is why we keep Denise around. We had this Messerschmitt ME-110 that somehow for the first 3 flights, it would get up in the air and then all of a sudden flip over and dive into the ground from like 150 feet. So we caught it on video, and one of these things, it flipped over and dove into the roof of a hangar and then bounced off that 30 feet down onto cement. So we're walking over the thing, and as usual, Denise says, "What happened?" And I'm going, "I don't know." And I go, "It's probably a mess." And she goes, "Oh, it's the messier Schmidt."
So, Dusty, well, it'd be cool if we could pull that up and throw it up here, man. That'd be great.
That's what I'm doing. I just gotta find it.
You're the best. Thank you.
Tell my
He
wife
can
that.
actually get things done.
I told you, Dustin is the man here, man. He's the man that gets it done. That's what look. I told you.
And he can make airplane
I would be
parts.
nothing without him and the wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You boys better not be talking about that on YouTube.
I think get him to smile a little more. He needs some Skippy. He needs some peanut butter.
Yeah. True
Well,
story.
you just ate your Bojangles, man.
Miss
Hey.
Bojangles.
You find it yet?
It says the Messerschmitt.
The messier Schmidt, yeah. The Dynam messier Schmidt. And the other video I sent you is just a little funny thing with our girls back in the day. We had the 2 shepherds, and one of them, Ava, always had to have a stick. The 2 of them, they were Czechoslovakian border dogs. They were born to chase anything that flies. So I only started doing RC planes when they were 4 years old, and they went berserk
That's what they
for
love.
RC planes. And so to do that, though, to chase after planes, Ava always had to have a stick in her mouth. So we would tell her, get a stick. She'd get a stick, and she'd come back, and then we could launch the plane. So we'd fly in a drone, and I had to put a piece of plywood out on the lawn so the blades wouldn't get in the grass. And I take off. We didn't tell Ava to get a stick. She goes, grabs the 2x2 piece of plywood.
The landing strip.
She's running around the yard with this big piece of plywood in her mouth. Like, land here.
Land here.
It's pretty funny. We're laughing.
Gotcha. Landing strip. That's right. Hey, Steve, one of our buddies, Dave's RC, hadn't checked out his channel. Check him out. He's about to get 1,000 subs. He'll be monetized soon. But he just said he just ordered one of your shirts. And he's going to wear it on his channel next week. So,
Oh, cool.
Nice, thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah, so definitely check out Dave's RC, man.
I've already seen it, actually.
Cool, awesome.
I think we're subscribed to it, as a
I
matter
think
of
so
fact.
too.
Yeah, cool. Dave's
Look at
a guy.
Now we'll all be looking down at our screens while we're on
Exactly.
screen.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm doing here too.
This is a modern man.
right. Yes. Yes.
That's
So how you doing tonight, Reckham Roy, Jermaine Spencer, Captain Photon? How are you, buddy? Good to see you here, man. Victor, hey, buddy. Enjoyed that last video. It was good, man. Don't let anybody give you no crap over that plane.
For sure.
Thought it looked good, man. It's a nice looking jet, I can tell you that. And I know you can fix it. I've seen what you can do.
No, we're not.
Yes, David Snyder. What's up, buddy? Eric.
We are now.
Ops, RC. Yeah. And also, too, Steve, we've got Dave Marshall, which is the RC Air Marshal. He's got an awesome channel. He's about to hit 1,000 subs, too. He's right there, and he's been putting out a lot of great content on the Spectrum receivers, how to set them up, how to bind them, how to program them. Dave's a techie where that kind of stuff comes from.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, good. I'm going to actually.
We need to talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah, Dave's great at it, man.
How do I turn this on?
Yeah, he knows the stuff, man. He'd be glad to help you out as well.
What's the name of that channel?
He is the RC Air Marshal. Dave Marshall is his name. And like I said, he's right at 1,000 subs too, and doing really well.
Good for you.
He's putting out a series actually on the Spectrum receivers, and he's got a full step-by-step guide on how to set them up, how to bind them, how to program them, and different receivers as well. So yeah, definitely check them out.
Sweet.
The RC Air Marshal.
Yes.
Okay, man, you're up to 921.
Yes. There. All you guys.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. You
check
didn't
it out.
subscribe to that, it looks like.
Yeah.
Never mind. You're still at 920. We were there already.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I got the video pulled up. Let's. It's only 2 minutes and 21 seconds, so let's see how this does.
Well, I assume it's going to be messier looking than it was before.
A messier Schmidt.
All right, so this is why you might want reinforcement.
You
in
getting
your
it up there?
airplane.
We
So,
didn't mean to crash it.
No, I don't know what happened.
What
That's
happened?
not it.
I don't know.
Yeah, we had like a downward spiral.
Yeah. A
That was
big time death spiral.
Yeah, real scary.
You got it,
Wait, look at
Dustin.
this.
Pull
The
it
battery's
up, or
about.
because I mean, I'm
Yeah.
seeing. Yeah,
Here's the plane.
yeah,
Where's
there we
the
go.
nose? Where's the reinforced nose?
Oh,
Look at this.
yeah.
This is incredible. Look at this. It just. Wow.
It broke off the.
Yeah, but that's. Look at
A
this.
little
whole plane
minor
is so
crash.
intact. It broke the
Damn.
nose.
And the nose
Wow.
took off the whole plate.
Dang,
There's the
gone.
plate. There's the
Look at
plate.
this thing. I mean, it would be in pieces
I like
now.
the slow-mo.
You would have garbage.
You would have garbage. It did
Wow.
this plastic
Man.
Want to see how stupid I am in slow
We
motion?
lost one blade on each prop, and yeah, these came flying off.
Hey, but is
See,
that
when you
the
have a really
plane?
strong impact
Yeah.
like that.
Well, dang, it
That's
doesn't
a
look
lot of
that
Gs.
bad
It just loosened
considering.
the hinge up.
Like an elevator.
That's
and a
incredible.
rubber
Okay,
Came off. You know,
so
the foam
if you
hinges
have reinforcement
broke.
in your
when you
plane,
when you
plane's
hit like
crashing,
that,
let's
that's
say,
this
this is what
can't
your plane
remember the
would be like
calculation,
after
but
a
it's
crash like
something
that.
like
Yeah,
100
You got
Gs.
some work to do.
Oh,
I hear the
man.
violins, but this is it. See these wrinkles here?
Gosh.
That means major
And that's it.
bending.
That's carbon fiber.
Right? So
Carbon
this
fiber
thing's
So
combined
this is
up
one you've
in
actually
order to wrinkle
reinforced,
like that.
Steve.
And
Yeah, those-
that means it
we
would have
run
snapped
rods
right,
right out
out
to the tip
You
of
know
the
this
nose.
plane would have
So
been in a
then we
whole
replaced
bunch
the
of
actual
pieces.
nose. You can see
Would
in
have been
the
in a
video
garbage
there.
can
We find the
somewhere.
nose
That's
laying
right.
around
And
somewhere.
instead,
I
we
made that
have a
nose
plane.
out
Let's
of
get those
HDPE
back
plastic.
up,
It's
put
like
it
solid
on here and fly.
HDPE that's carved out. And then there's carbon fiber rods that run right up to the back of that.
Wow. Dang.
So you're hitting first with a solid piece of plastic and starting from there, the rods. So there's really no way to break the foam if you have rods embedded in it.
No doubt, man. Damn, that's pretty damn impressive because, I mean, to have hit a building top and then hit the ground at that speed, I mean,
Yeah.
that's good, man.
So we didn't send the other video to you, but when we made finally made the test video to fly the thing, it was the 4th time we flew it. The first 3 ended up in crashes like that. The other 2 were into grass. And, but you can see it flying in the other video. There's no replacement parts, no cracks even in the foam. It was just a little rash here and there.
That's pretty good.
Oh yeah. We still have it hanging on the rack, like all of our planes. They're all ready to fly without any repairs. So all the crashed planes you see in our videos, There's, a few minutes of repair here and there to fix basically what's foam rash on them.
Right.
Well, and it's like RC Air Marshal just said, that plane would have been in 100 pieces had it not been reinforced. I mean, that's that's amazing.
The big time.
That plane was
as I like saying nowadays, I love stuff that works.
Yeah.
Even if I have to design it myself, it's like, this actually works.
Yeah, that's right. And look, guys, I just want to say a big shout out tonight to a good friend of mine who's watching the show. I just saw him in the chat. His name's Brian Brody, guys, and he's my man. I don't know if you guys saw one of my latest videos. Brian actually flying his F-15. Brian is a new pilot, guys. He taught himself to fly with the Carbon S Cub with safe technology, and he wanted to fly a jet. So he saw me fly the F-15 that I won from Dave's RC, and he said, hey, do you think I could do that? I said, well, if you're going to do one, it'd be a great one. So he bought it, and you guys have seen the video, man. He is ripping it up with that plane and doing a fantastic.
That's his second plane?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. And look. Here's the thing, Steve. Now, my man has already bought a free wing F4. Okay, that's a handful. Okay, that's a big jet. I have that jet, and I'm gonna say I'm scared of it. Okay. But I will say this. This jet right here, this A-10 64 millimeter E-Flight, that is his jet. He bought this, last Sunday at a local hobby shop, and he and I are going to do a video of putting it together. I'm going to help him get it all set up. This is going to be one of the next things he's flying, and he's already bought the E-Flight F-16. He bought that Sunday at the hobby shop, and he's going to be flying that soon. So he ain't scared. I'm just saying. And, and the man's doing good, and I'm proud of him. And he's ripping it up. So yeah, I appreciate all the wonderful support you guys in the comments are giving him in the video that I put out of him. I think he surprised himself with how good he did in that video. And you guys are just giving him such great support, and I appreciate it. And we're going to keep him going, and I love to see new people get into this hobby and enjoy it. He's got a passion for it, and he's got the bug, and it's bit him hard.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to be putting up more videos of he and I flying. And so just thanks, guys, for all the support you're giving Brian. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and Brian, you're going to love that E-Flight F-16. That was my first 70 millimeter jet. And, man,
Yep.
I still, to this day, my F-22 is fun, but that F-16 and the Thunderbird scheme is just phenomenal. I mean, E-Flight really hit it out of the park with that bird in particular. Matter of fact, I've got two of them because I like them so much.
I've heard you say that, man. I've never seen Dustin fly it, but from what I've seen him fly his F-22 and throw it in a pure alpha coming by like this. So
Nice.
if he can alpha that F-22, I can only imagine what he can do with that F-16.
Is that the 90 millimeter F-22?
It's actually a 70
It's a
millimeter.
70. Yeah. So
What makes that?
E-Flight.
E-Flight.
When
So
did
it's
they
a-
come out with that?
What's that?
When did they come out with that? Yesterday?
What's it
It's
been
been out for about a year.
Yeah,
Really?
it's in the
Yeah,
Thunderbird.
it came out like December of like 2018.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's been out for about 14 months or so.
Safe technology, everything. It's a beautiful plane in a Thunderbird scheme.
Yeah, because
Man,
it
I gotta
was
go
it was
looking
the,
at that stuff.
I got the 64 millimeter because I wanted to see what the jets were all about, and I got the F-15. It's a 64 millimeter, so I just toss and boss it. And then like later the next weekend, I brought the E-Flight F-16 70 millimeter, the Viper 70 millimeter E-Flight, and the F4 Phantom from E-Flight. And all three of those I made in one day, and like never had flown any other jets.
Jeez.
Other than I was like, go big, go home, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll say.
That was
How's
fun.
the roll rate on those?
Boozer, thanks for joining us, buddy.
Yeah, what's up, man?
But yeah, Brian,
No.
you're gonna love that F-16 because my favorite thing to do is go inverted and get his load to the deck as I could. But when you do that, make sure you watch your vertical fin. Because it's not. You don't be dragging the tail. I did that on my F-15. I got low.
Yeah.
I was looking at the actual fuse and not paying attention to the verts. And it just hit whack. Like, I mean, it just stopped. It didn't skid across the grass. It was wet grass. It didn't skid across it. I mean, it just went.
I tell you too, Steve. I tell you too, Wesley from the Boozers, they did a great comparison with the E-Flight F-16 and the Motion RC F-16 in the Arctic camo. Both of them are 70 millimeters, and they're both beautiful jets. Don't get me wrong. Yes, I'm an Arctic camo guy, so I would go for the 70 millimeter, probably the free wing, just because. But in seeing the E-Flight, Dustin has it, and then seeing it firsthand the other day at my friend's house, it is an amazing, beautiful plane, man. It's really nice. So Wesley from the Boozers, he flew the snot out of it, and he said he really liked it a lot better than the free wing, actually. So, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, now I got more stuff to check out.
Uh-oh.
And I think what is the price?
We just planted that seed.
What's the price on the binding fly? It's not bad.
No, it's actually really, really cheap.
Like $349 maybe.
Oh no, it's 300 flat. It's well, time out. I'm sorry. It's $299.99. But typically when that's for the F-16 Thunderbird, the 70 millimeter. So it's got AS3X. It's got the gyro in it, and then it's also got safe. And people knock safe, man. It's a get me out of jail free card. It is a backup to Plan B.
That's right.
It's an awesome piece of technology.
Yeah, that's right.
Plan A is don't do
Plan-
stupid stuff. Plan B is I'm going to do stupid stuff, and when you get yourself in a hole, you flip it, and it hopefully gets you out of it. It's the emergency button. It's the big red button, right?
Yeah.
And look, hey, Boozer just said it's the plane of the year was the E-Flight F-16. So there you go. I mean, boom. And I see we got Pilot Ryan in the house. What's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Good to have you here tonight.
Yeah, man. And we still need to talk
Hey,
too.
Ryan.
Yeah. But yeah, I've not heard anything bad about that F-16, Steve. So if you're gonna check one out, man, that'd be a good one to get.
Yeah.
I have the free wing. We took it for one flight, and it was stupid fast, but it wasn't idiotic fast. So I took it home and cut in a couple of ram air scoops in it. I haven't had it back out yet. I want to see if I can make it go faster.
Is that the 70 or the 90?
The 70.
Okay, all right. Well, they've come out. They've got the 70 now in an upgraded version,
Right.
and they've also upgraded the 90, which is what this is, with an upgraded version, which is what's in this one. So yeah, they've actually kind of listened to what people were saying with both the 70 and the 90, and they've kind of picked up the performance. And that new 70 is pretty sweet, man. I would not mind having that a bit in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not the only one around. So stupid fast is not fast enough. You want complete idiotic fast. It's not.
Hey, you always gotta have faster, man.
Well,
I gotta write in.
there were some guys that would put 8S into this E-Flight 70 and just change out the ESC. And you talking about awesome upgrade. I think what Ollie did that was with Horizon. He did it one and it kind of just got the ball rolling on that, and it's just phenomenal. Just those 2 extra cells of power give you.
I see the gears turning in his head right now.
Well, and Steve, if you watch Dustin fly in the BEA Hawk that I was telling you about by FMS, that's a wicked fast plane out of the box, man, for a jet. And then he's also got the L-39, which is a free wing 80 millimeter jet. And I'm gonna tell you what, man, now he flies the wings off of that one too. That's another very good behaving jet from what I understand. I don't have it personally yet, but I've heard a lot of great things about that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, seriously.
It's very stable.
All the guys that are, oh, sorry.
I would say just the L39 is since it's a straight wing plane, is very stable. You can just fly it. Yeah, if you're just wanting to fly just to fly and just have like a calm day, it will fly great. But if you want to be like a bat out of hell and put the fire to the coal, I think I said that right. It's been a long day. I mean, it'll do that too. It'll do that too, and it's an amazing jet. The Bayhawk, the FMS 80mm version. When I fly it, it's full throttle the whole flight. The only time I come off throttle is to land it.
That was my first year and a half of flying. I couldn't do anything with my other hand, so I had to put every plane at full throttle and leave it there. And that was it.
I tell you what, he rips it up with that one. My buddy just chimed in, the guy I was telling you about, Brian, and he said, ask Killer Planes how to reinforce my new F-16.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, like I said, that's going to be his next one he flies, man. He's flying the F-15 incredibly well, and he's going to break out the F-16. I know he's going to probably do it this weekend. And like I said, this A-10 right here is his, and we're going to get it put together for him. So he's working his way up. The biggest thing I've got to do with Brian, and Brian, I know you're watching this, man. The biggest thing I got to do with Brian is I got to get him off a safe, man. I call him the safety guy. I mean,
That would be me too.
but it's like Dustin said, it is, your get out of jail free card. But like Pilot Ryan says, you get too adjusted and too safe with it, and you don't let go of it. And that's the thing. Brian is an incredible pilot. I've already seen that already. He's got excellent hand-eye coordination, and I just want him to. I want him to get off that safe and fly that F-15 like I know he can. And once he realizes that, hey, I've got built-in stabilization, I don't need safe, it'll take him to a different mindset, and I know it will. So you got this, Brian, and you can do it, man. And I've told you that. So get off the safe, man.
Oh, yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah,
that's right. You can do it,
Brian. Just from experience, and man, you take it for what it's worth. I've only been in the hobby for about a little over a year now. Yeah, a year and like 6 months. Anyhow, get up in the air with safe. Do like maybe 1 or 2 circuits. Turn safe off, and the controls are gonna be a little bit more sensitive. So just little input, and just kind of get used to it, and then bring it down in safe like you normally do. Next time you go up. Start to kind of set yourself up without safe for that landing. I mean, you ain't got to come down and land it, but just kind of get into the feel of how the plane wants to settle in and the descent rate, and just kind of go through those motions, and you'll pick it up quick, very, very quick.
Well, you saw what you saw in the video, man. How when I worked with him, weekend before last, I told him, I said, try to land it in front of you. Don't land it down here. Don't land it down here. Land it in front of you. And the video you saw, he landed it practically at his feet, man. And that's what I'm talking about. And I told him, I said, dude, that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about right there. So he's definitely dialing it in, and he's doing an amazing job with it. And there's no doubt, the safe on that jet, I don't fly with it. I never have. And I know he doesn't need it. And I get where he's coming from. It's just a mental thing. He's just got to let go of it. But yeah. He's doing a great, and look, he's hand launching it, man. I mean, he's hand launching, he's landing, he's doing a great job by himself with this jet, So I'm proud of him, man, and I can't wait to see him fly that F-16 because I think he's going to surprise himself with it actually.
Oh yeah, and that's what I did. I mean, when I made those, I had safe on the Viper. Did 3 flights with the Viper. The second flight, I kind of did what I was talking about. Do some circuits without safe. Started setting up. For approaches without safe. Third was without safe. I'm like, oh, okay, this is not as bad as I thought it would be. The F-16, just because the nose gear, it's not weak, but the pin that connects the strut to the retract itself, can't really take big bumps. And so what you can do, if you do bend it, you don't got to go and buy another pin from somebody. Go to Lowe's, buy you a 3mm, which comes out to be like 5/64, I believe. Just buy you a drill bit and cut the shank off the drill bit, and now you have an actual drill rod that you can use, and it's stronger now. for like
I'm
$3-4
talking
bucks.
about. Yep.
Nice
See?
tip.
See, that's right. That's what I'm talking about. And
Yep.
you know, that F4 that I have, the free wing, that is the weak point on that jet, is the pin for the front landing gear. If you come in a little hard, it'll break. Ask me how I know. I've already replaced one, and I bought several others. Also, the E-Flight F4, another weak point is that front landing gear on those planes. So yeah, these pins will break off. So the whole thing with the drill bit, the shaft on those, that's a great tip there, guys. You can find those at a hardware store. You might not be able to order a pin for a while and get it here, you know, so great tip on that one.
Does the breaking pin save anything else from breaking, or is it just a weak link that
it's kind of like the weak link. I haven't really seen the F-16 like break. I've seen them bend, and most of the time if it bends a little bit, you can kind of just support that pin and kind of bend it back.
Mine broke right off, man, like snap.
Yeah. You also can take and use a, I think it's an F-86 from Free Wing nose gear, and use it. So then that way you have a trailing link. The only thing you have to do that is you have to actually take the strut and the strut on the actual nose gear itself and drill it out just slightly because it's a smaller diameter, internal diameter. And I used it, and it keeps the nose kind of more elevated, so you get more lift sooner. I guess you say. I don't know the whole science is up behind it, but it works. It works either way.
Well, you know, the whole thing with any of your jets, especially, is landing on the mains and not landing on the nose. Anyway, we all know that. So, which sometimes it's hard, or you stall a little bit and you land hard, or whatever. But I was speaking with Steve earlier, and I think we've all seen this. I know I have in the MiG. I've seen it in my F4. Another couple of guys have seen it in the F4, particularly the Goshawk hanging up here. A big problem, Steve, with a lot of guys is the wings, where your main gear are when they land. Sometimes you don't even have to land really hard, but you start to notice that the servo starts to protrude through the top of the wing because it's thin foam.
Right.
Or in some cases, you'll actually punch through the foam or spider web the paint or whatever. I've heard some guys trying to reinforce with different things, from paper towel to CA to fiberglass cloth. What are your thoughts on that? I know you said you had a quick fix for that as well.
Yeah, we use rods, carbon fiber rods, for pretty much everything. So most gear nowadays, they have plastic cases around them, and the cases have flanges designed into them. So if you're looking, let's say, from the top of the gear, there's the gear mechanism, and there's a plastic case around it.
Right.
So you're looking straight down at the case. There will be a little flange on each side, usually underneath the plate, so it's in the foam.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So if you can identify where that flange is, and if you can get an angle on it, and a lot of times you can get an angle by putting your gear down and starting from the gear well, you drill into the foam and through that flange and keep going so that you're passing by the gear, and hopefully you get a rod about 3 inches on each side of the gear, and just glue that in with either hot glue or Gorilla Glue. And if it's going through the flange, what happens is you're spreading out all of the forces that normally go into that one little piece of plastic in that one little piece of foam that the plastic is mounted in. Now you're spreading that force out in a whole bunch of foam. Yeah. And doing that is the essence of what carbon fiber does. You're just spreading the force out. Instead of, that's why when you crash a plane, let's say into the nose, it breaks somewhere in the nose because that's the weak point. Right. And when you put carbon fiber in, what it does is distribute the force all through the fuselage. Instead of, if you can't distribute your force around, it's just going to find the first weak point and break that. And then if it's still got enough force left, it'll find the second weakest point and break that too, etc. So it's just basically weak points in the gear, and if that's not enough, and once in a while it isn't, we just put a piece of thin HDPE, like milk bottle plastic, on top. If you're using HDPE, you just have to sand it with very heavy sandpaper, like 40 grit, to put a serious tooth on it, And when you do that, you can use contact cement, regular brush-on contact cement. You can put that on EPO foam. If you brush it on real thin and quick, don't put a thick coat on the foam, very thin coat. And then you can put on a second thin coat over that after the first one thoroughly dries. That's usually about an hour and a half. And then when you do that, you got 2 coats of contact cement on each, on the foam and on the plastic. You put them together, you can't get it off. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You can shred the foam by pulling it off. But if you put that layer of very thin HDPE over the top, what you're doing is strengthening the heck out of the foam that's right there. So it's really hard to punch through.
That's right. Yeah. Well, and that's, typically, like I said, with your landing gear, with a lot of your jets, that's a weak point. If the gear doesn't pull out of the foam, and that happens a lot of times because there's not enough glue, then your gear starts to protrude through the top of the wing after so many landings. And it tends to be a problem. I saw one guy, he came in with the F4, the free wing, and he stalled it right probably 2 foot off the runway, and all of a sudden it just pancaked down, and when it did, the gear punched right through the wing.
Yep.
And he had to go back in and, fix the foam and paint everything and reinforce it. So, yeah, I mean, we're always looking for ways to strengthen those areas. But, some guys can say, well, just like the nose pin on the F4, they can say, well, would you rather the pin break or would you rather rip the whole gear out? Okay, so
yeah, exactly.
True. True. So there are good and pros and cons to each. Just depends
there
on
are some planes that I think of offhand, like a couple of the Durafly fighters when they used to make them, and they had these whole well of plastic that's pretty loosely glued into the foam. So if you land too hard or weird, the whole plastic well just came right out of the wing. But it kept the plane from breaking. So all you had to do was a little hot glue, put it back in, but I didn't glue them in too crazy, just in case I landed like that again. It would break the whole well out of the wing without breaking anything, just pop the thing out of the wing.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to absorb force too, actually, if it's properly done. Actually, to tell you the truth, we do flying lessons too, and everybody who gets into the hobby, not everybody, but you know what I mean, they got a plane they want to fly. Like for me, it was the Corsair. And my second choice, Mustang. After that, F-86. I had all these planes I wanted to fly. But in truth, you're going to be buying these expensive planes with expensive parts in them, especially landing gear. Good God, some of that stuff is like $150 for a set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what we recommend to all of our students was first learn how to fly. Then worry about landing on wheels. So we tell people use hand-launched belly land planes. And when you can get the plane to land exactly where you want it on the grass, then you're ready to land on wheels on a runway. Otherwise, you're just going to be wrecking wheels all over the place. You know what I mean?
So, well, and that's kind of what I told my friend Brian. I said, try to land it in front of you, not way down here or way this way. Try to land it in front of you. And after about 3 flights the other day, like you see in the video, he landed it practically right in front of him. I couldn't have asked for him to have a better flight. With that. Yeah, he did incredibly well. Now, this is also a guy that's been racing cars and trucks, RC, for probably 8 or 9 years. So he's got
you
good.
Just added one more dimension.
Yes. So he's already got good hand-eye coordination, which is a great thing. But considering he taught himself to fly, nobody showed him anything. He went out and bought a Carbon S Cub and taught himself to fly. Hey man, kudos to him, because he didn't have a field to go to. He just found a spot where he could go learn how to fly, and he taught himself to fly. So
that's what I did too.
That's right, and that's what I say, man. And that's great for anybody that can do that. I think it's awesome,
Or for anybody who's as dumb as me, either. It for some reason never once occurred to me that there might be something like a forum or a club. So I spent like 1.5 years out in a cornfield by myself. And the first thing I was doing was flying around myself all the time. So the first time I ever went to a club, I scared the crap out of everybody, and they threw me out. So,
Well, that's like me. You know, I started off first day. I thought I wanted to fly a helicopter. I got an air hog one year at Christmas, and I thought, well, man, how hard can it be to fly the big ones? You know, if I can fly an air hog. So I go online and, you know, I didn't talk to anybody, didn't know anybody to talk to. So I bought a helicopter that was, you know, probably a couple of feet long from nose to tail, and, you know, had a carbon fiber prop, you know, and I'm like, wow, this is awesome. Well, it was all really nice until I backed it up into my leg, and it cut my jeans and bruised my leg to the point where I thought, wait a damn minute, this is dangerous. You know, I mean, because it hit real close to home, if you follow where I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And needless to say, I started talking with some people, and they're like, well, you know, there's a field you can go out to where guys fly. So I went out there and introduced myself, and this guy was like, well, can you hover? I'm like, huh? And he's like, you got to learn how to hover any helicopter before you can fly it. And I'm like, well, no, I just thought you flew them. And he said, no, man, you got to hover. So I got out there and started hovering, trying to hover. And, you know, he said, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you crash a helicopter, you go ahead and pull out your wallet because you got all these parts that you got to fix, and it costs money. He said, so, you know, you might want to get into airplanes. Needless to say, I was trying to hover that day, and all of a sudden it went and into the ground, broke the prop off. I said, you know what? I'm done with these. I got rid of the helicopter, got into airplanes, and I haven't looked back since. But I will say, I'm itching for these new Roban helicopters that Motion RC has come out with. They are incredibly scale. Yes, they're beautiful, man. They're awesome.
All of a sudden, I need one of those.
I know, right? I want to so bad, you know. They're cool. I was looking. Horizon Hobby just came out with a new blade. What is it? A 120 with safe. Yeah, and I was actually thinking about buying that. I know Dave Marshall bought a little helicopter a couple months back, and he's really digging it. So I thought about actually getting one of those and binding it to my transmitter for the money. They're not bad. But I know me, man. I know me, and I will be like my friend. I'll be going from a helicopter this big to a freaking Roban, you know?
Yeah.
They're probably actually easier to fly, the big ones.
Probably. Hey, if it's like an airplane, bigger flies better, you know?
They're stable, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, hey guys,
Yeah.
I gotta
Here's
go
a
use the
contest
restroom
for
real quick,
everybody
so
who's
I'll
watching.
be back.
On a real helicopter, they have, like on an H60, right?
Yeah.
There's actually a nut on the top that holds the blades on, all right?
Yeah.
What's that nut called? See if anybody can write in. See if anybody can figure
Yeah,
it.
anybody chime in? I bet if Steve Hodges was in here, he would know. Let's see. Yeah, man, I'm trying to see. Somebody comes in with that one. You say there's a nut on top. Let's see. That's what. The bigger Heelys do fly better. I'm waiting to see because there's a delay on this thing, so I'm waiting to see who comes in first. Can you guys see the comments? Are you reading them too?
No, we can't see them.
Oh, are you on YouTube at all?
Oh, it turned off.
Oh, because you can go on YouTube and see the comments. Let's see. Somebody was saying a 600 size MD 500 flies sweet. Dave RC was saying a ventral fin. No, Dave, it's not a ventral fin.
What is it? Where is it? Oh, down the bottom. That's
Good guess.
that's a good guess, though.
Yeah, that's a good.
If anybody knows any Navy pilots, they know what it's called.
Well, damn, Dave Marshall.
Got it.
Got it.
Who got it? Who's that?
Pterodactyl.
Ah, okay. There you go. Awesome, man.
That's it. The Jesus nut.
Good job.
Okay. I never heard of that one. That's a new one. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
As they explained it to me, when the nut comes off, all you have to do is go, Jesus!
Yeah. Well, hey, that's like on an airplane, if the prop flies off or the nut comes off, you're kind of in a bind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
I come up with some good words for that one too. Yeah. But yeah, I love these new Roban helicopters that Motion RC's come out, man. They've got an Apache, and then they've got the Coast Guard helicopters are sweet with the actual working, what is it, the cable that comes down and everything.
Oh, that's cool.
All I gotta do is shrink myself down so I can take a ride in one of those babies.
Yeah. I mean, they're killer. They've got the Bell helicopters, man, and they're big. I mean, they're huge helicopters. And, really, the prices on them for what the size is not bad if you know how to fly it. Like I said, I don't know how to fly one good enough to feel comfortable buying it, but I sure would love to have one.
Well, simulator is really good for practicing helicopter flying.
Yeah, and I've got Real Flight 6. I want to get Real Flight 9 because I don't know if you've seen Dave Marshall, Mary Boozers, a lot of these guys with nice YouTube channels. They have fly-ins on certain nights on their live show, and anybody can come in and fly, and they have competitions. They have all kinds of really neat stuff that you'd really enjoy if you hadn't done that either, Steve.
You
like
mean
that?
On a simulator fly-in?
Yes. Yeah, Real Flight. I think it's, what is it? Guys chime in, but I think it's 7 to Real Flight 9. These guys host a live show on their show on YouTube. Like Dave Marshall does one on Monday nights. Mary Boozer does one some nights on Sunday, and anybody can come in and fly with each other and have a good time and hang out.
You gotta go.
But you probably need Real Flight, right, to do it?
Yeah, you got to have Real Flight. I think it's 7 and up. So 7, 8. And, yeah,
we're Mac people. Mac people only have
look,
Icarus.
Look, I am too. I'm a Mac person, but I actually have a PC just for YouTube stuff. So,
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Now we gotta get a PC.
Yeah.
But ever just look at the War Thunder stuff?
Yes.
I find that, like in real life, I would never be able to do that. Like be a fighter pilot, you got to be able to see tiny specks way far away.
Yeah. See, I couldn't either. Yeah. Yeah, that is a cool game. But yeah, we are Mac people around here as well. But for YouTube and everything works so much better with a PC that I succumbed to a laptop for all of that. So therefore, I have Real Flight 6 that I had with my old PC a long time ago. But all the guys are telling me to get Real Flight 9.
Okay.
So,
hey, Dustin, we can see you shooting up.
I'm diabetic.
he's got the diabetes, man.
Hey, at least that's what I tell the cops when I'm doing those heroin runs.
Yeah, right.
No,
his name is Dustin.
Yeah.
No, all right, true story. So I was in the car with my wife one night, and went through a traffic check. Of course, they do their whole spiel, like, where are you going? That way. Where are you coming from? That way. And then, like, are you on any drugs? Yeah. And he's like, oh, really? I was like, yeah, I'm on drugs. And he goes, what type of drugs? And he's like, what are you, like, smoking weed? I'm like, nah, man, I don't do weed. And he named off, like, 2 others. Like, nah, man, I'm on the insulin. He's like, get the hell out of here. And my wife said, she's like, you're going to get a strip search? I was like,
Really?
That's cool. As long as I'm searching
No, honey,
you,
I'm
that's
trying
fine.
to get you strip search.
Yeah, cavity search over here. Get it done.
Yeah. Well,
She's got the drugs on her.
Hey, right, yeah, exactly.
But talking about like RC, for example, so like my insulin, so what I'm doing is I'm actually inserting a sensor into my arm that sees what my blood sugar is, and it communicates it to my insulin pump. And so if I eat and I don't give myself enough insulin, it will see that, and it will start giving me like little, what they call microburst of like insulin, so a little bit more insulin, so my sugars don't keep going up.
Man. Does it have Bluetooth in it or something?
Actually, it does. It really does.
Wow.
That's how it communicates with my
amazing
my meter.
world. You know what this was like 15 years ago or 20 years ago?
Yeah, they actually
not like that.
Yeah, you used to have to like pee on the stick on your. That's how you would used to test your blood sugar. Is you would pee in a cup and stick it in there, and of course your blood sugar.
Yep.
Is like I think it was at that point it'd be like 2 hours behind, so you really didn't know if you were going up or going down. So blessed to live in a time like now.
I love the modern world.
Hey, look, man, where can you get all this? Airplanes, insulin. Come on, man. This is great. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Machining.
You should have a
what I'm
price
talking
chart.
about. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. This is live and to the moment right here, baby. Yes, sir.
That's just how we do it.
That's right, man. You're learning something right here, man. That's good stuff, man.
This little guy is what is the transmitter. Oh, see, it's blinking at me. Say, hey, I'm fully charged. Plug me up, dumbass.
Hey, there is a 7-second delay. I can curse all I want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look
at that thing.
We know for a fact that YouTube isn't working. And Facebook ain't working because my wife has shown me some like videos that should be not on Facebook and not on YouTube. And I'm like, what?
You got to pay extra.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't pay extra, and I guess I don't know. Like it was like some guy like showing his private parts and a woman showing her private parts. I'm just like, this is like on public Facebook.
Oh my god.
And like YouTube, I'm like, man, if my daughter saw that, I'd be so hot. I'd get a one-way ticket to California.
And especially if it was your wife. I mean, that would really.
Nah, I'd be like, where's the money at? Show me the money.
Show me the money.
I'd be like that damn Tom Cruise is like, show me the money.
Hey, you getting a paycheck? It's all good. Don't worry about it. It's good.
That's a stimulus check.
We don't know why, but after that YouTube show, Dustin's car was dismantled by the police for some reason.
Lord, I hope not.
Lord, man.
Oh,
See,
too funny.
all this kind of stuff too, man. Where are you gonna get this at, man?
Just 7 seconds later.
Love it. Gosh.
Oh.
And hi, guys. Just reading your comments.
Yeah.
The lovely Denise says hi.
Yes, hi, and indeed your curse words will come up 7 minutes later. That's true.
You mean my curse words?
Yeah, it could be worse. It could be the like the Chinese movies, Japanese movies that were later then converted over to America. So they'll be like, hey, I'm Dustin with Killer Planes.
Yeah. Oh no, wait! I think I can do this actually. I just need a. First, I gotta record.
Oh God.
Beep 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 beep. There you go. So now I have the soundtrack.
That's it.
And I can go. I'll tell you what I think, you guys. I think you're gonna.
You dirty rat.
Ooh, dirty rat.
Hey, so Steve, we had a guy we were talking to the other night. His name's Dennis Farley, and he was saying something about you being in a rock band. What's up with that, man?
Well, that was my first life.
Oh, do tell.
That's what led me to back in the day.
Uh-huh.
Now, if you want to know what to do for real estate, just don't listen to Uncle Steve. I bought a loft in Manhattan in the mid-'70s when it was free, and I sold it in 1980 for $25,000 in cash.
Wow.
Guess what it's worth now?
I
$7 million.
Oh God.
And the reason I sold it was rock stars don't need lofts in Manhattan.
Oh man.
Yeah, there, Denise brought the picture out. There's us in our band days.
Oh, cool,
Oh,
man.
that's
Long hair and all.
Yeah, that's me right there.
Oh man. Wow. That's cool, man. So did y'all
No, nothing ever happened with the band. I just lost a $7 million piece of real estate. That's all that happened.
Damn. So y'all didn't ever get a song or a CD or an album at that point or anything like that?
You guys bought on
No,
YouTube.
we
I mean,
did, actually.
iTunes, were you?
We put a song that me and Denise did. What the hell's it called?
If I only had a plane.
Yeah, if I only had a plane, right. Thank you. So on my synthesizer one night, I came home from a movie and I decided to do the music for If I Only Had a Brain from Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
So I had the music, and Denise said, oh, that fit If I Only Had a Plane. So we wrote lyrics for it. We put it on one of our videos, and we got a bunch of calls from people. It's like, can you get that music from somewhere? Can you put it on YouTube? No, iTunes. That was it. Never did. It's a pretty funny song, though.
That's cool. You need to put that in one of your videos, man.
It is.
Oh, it's on something, yeah.
I have a couple of them.
Oh, is it?
We'll dig out a link and send it to you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like to see that. That'd be cool. Man,
If I only had a plane.
the long hair and all, man. I dig
Yeah.
it. Damn, that's cool. Man,
But
so
I still have guitars I never play.
so you play guitar or keyboards? What did you play?
I was guitar man. Actually, I was the singer.
Singer.
Oh, cool.
And
I hid behind the guitar.
Ah. And
I
the
can
hair.
never understand. It's pretty funny because everybody wants a singer, right? And to me, singing was you just open your mouth and do it. Guitarists, they're talented. And then years later, after I was not in the band anymore, and I realized, what's Frank Sinatra's guitarist's name? Who knows? All they know is Frank's the singer, and I'm like,
Right.
duh.
That's
But
right.
Couldn't follow it.
Well, it's funny, I sit here and I keep looking at you, man. You remind me of a cross between Dan Aykroyd and what was the guy's name that played in the Rockford Files? What was his name?
Oh, James Garner?
yeah, Jason.
Yes.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I used to get. You used to get
Oh, yeah, back in the day of that picture that I showed you, I used to get these people telling me I look like James Caan all the time. And I said, what are you talking about? Then years later, I'm looking at a picture of myself, and I didn't realize that it was me, or was it the other way around? Right. I was looking at a picture of James Caan, and I thought it was a picture of me, and I realized, oh, I guess I did kind of look like him back then. I was like,
Hey, that ain't a bad thing, I mean,
yeah, it's pretty weird.
So how long have you been flying, man?
Pretty much since we started making videos. We started making videos about 3 months into it.
So what was it? 2000 what?
2010, 2011. It's when they started coming out with foamies, basically, because before that, there was no way I was going to build a plane out of balsa wood and then crash it. No, thank you. Because I just want to fly them,
So you kind of started doing videos then about the time YouTube was kind of getting cranked up and kind of going, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay, yeah.
Back in the olden days, there were a couple of people that were doing them already, but not many. And, I saw their videos on YouTube, and I just said, what, are you kidding? This is what these people are doing? I want to do that. So,
And look, it's amazing how far the technology's come today with the cameras and the lighting and the editing. And, yeah. So, I mean, for people that did start back then, it was a lot different than what it is now, especially with what you had to shoot a video with,
Oh, yeah. Denise
I mean,
still has her favorite camera is an SD camera that
Yeah.
everybody for years was saying, when are you guys going to get an HD camera?
Yeah.
Ask her.
So-
And to tell you the truth, we got an HD camera finally, and it's not her old camera.
No, I'm not loving it. I got to find a better camera.
Well,
Gotta
and
be the right size. And,
everybody has cell phones nowadays that shoot in 4K, that are this big. Back then you didn't have that. I mean, hell, a lot of the video cameras then look like, damn things up here on your shoulder.
Yeah, well, you actually took a cassette tape and put it in, right? I
Yeah.
remember
I
those.
wasn't that old.
Yeah.
I remember those. I remember as a
Yeah.
kid, because my dad would always have one, and he'd be like, ugh.
Yeah. Here, got a camera, yeah.
But my favorite, one of my favorite moments about this, I wish I could go back in time, and I've told Josh Weaver about this. Miss Clifton, freshman year in high school, she goes, y'all need to listen up because y'all won't have a calculator in your back pocket. So you need to learn how to use this longhand division, or like longhand, whatever it was. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, not only do I have a calculator, I got a scientific calculator.
yeah.
Well,
And if that doesn't work, then I can like switch it to a different mode as well. I'm like,
That's right. How you like me now?
And I can Google the answer too.
Yeah.
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 That's right.
You
Yeah.
gotta love it. You see people using these things all the time to do texting, and after a while, I would look at them and say, there's this new one out where you can actually just talk to the other person.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
It's like, I just started doing Facebook. Dustin and all my buddies have been doing this, and they're like, man, you got to do Facebook. You got to do Facebook. Well, like I tell them, I do face-to-face every day. I don't need to do Facebook, but it's almost like for what we do with YouTube and everything now, you almost have to. So I'm still learning Facebook, and I'm going, man, this is a lot of crap. I'm going, how do I learn all, I get a post, I'm like, how do I read what somebody wrote? I can't figure this out. I don't want to mess with this. My wife's like, okay, let me show you. I'm like, yeah, show me. Okay. She's like, well, why don't you go on YouTube and learn how to use Facebook? I'm like, because I don't want to go on YouTube. I said, I'll just ask Dustin. He'll show me.
No, actually, you go on YouTube to get a link to Twitter, to get a link to TikTok, to get a video to show you how to use Facebook.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But I swear, man, it's all like so much. Hell, I was doing good to learn how to do YouTube, learn how to edit my videos, post my videos, and do Instagram all at one time. And now we've thrown in Facebook on top of all of it. I'm going, really? It's like,
and on top of everything else, they keep changing everything. So as soon as you get used to one, interface, it's time for a new one. We call moving the gas pedal. Hey, this year, let's switch the gas pedal and the brake. We think it'll be better that way. Okay, Bob, let's put out a whole bunch of cars like that. Oh, yeah. It's so much fun.
Well, I'm a visual person, so for me, it's like Deuces Wild just said, it's great. Yeah, it is. YouTube is my go-to for everything because I am visual. I hate to read. I'll own it. I don't like to read.
Too.
If you can show me something, I got it. But if I got to read how to do it, we're done. I don't care to see it.
Well, see, it's weird for me because I don't like reading like textbooks. I don't like reading like novels. And thank God there's Audible because I'll listen to it. So I don't really listen to music in the car. I listen to like somebody reading to me. But it's great, and it's.
That means you're a guy.
Fair enough.
Girls listen to music. Guys listen to talk radio.
Look, I've always said I will be the first one to admit I did get Playboy for the pictures. Okay, one for the article. All right.
Right. I'm like, wait, there's articles in Playboy?
Yeah, exactly. Right? Really? Yeah. Nope. Sorry, I didn't read. That's when you go. You're thumbing through real quick. Like, yep.
Oh, I gotta.
Well, somebody hand you the magazine and they say, "Here, read this cover," and you go, play.
Just flip it open. That's like every month I get AMA magazine. First thing I do, I put it on the counter and I go through it really quickly and I look at all the pictures first. I don't read the articles. I look at the pictures, and it's the pictures that captivate me to possibly read the articles. You know what I mean? So
a visual man.
Yeah. It's like, look, true story, and I'd probably get some hate for this. I never read the Bible. But I read the damn pictures of the picture Bible for the kids when I was like 15 years old.
Right? Hey, it explained it better. It's like, I don't know if any of you guys have ever watched the series on Discovery, but it's called The Men Who Founded America, right?
Oh, that's so awesome. I love that.
Okay, well, we've all had history in high school. I like history pretty good, but these shows bring it to life and put it in a different aspect for me, that the history books, yes, they said the same thing, but these shows bring it to life for me, and I'm like, wow, it just pulls me in. I think every kid in school now should have to watch these series, because if they're like me and they hate to read the history book to learn about these things, watching this series, you just go, wow, man, this really, I love it now, and it brings me to a different level for history,
If you're into the like Audible stuff and you're into history, I got a podcast for you. There's a guy named Dan Carlin, and he does a podcast called Hardcore History. He is, well, let's put it this way. I had heard maybe the 2 paragraphs about the Mongols, Genghis Khan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we had 2 paragraphs about that in all of my 12 years of schooling. Just on Genghis Khan, he had 5 3-hour shows. And at the end of them, I was going, what? Stuff you never, ever heard.
Yeah.
Super interesting. Really good show. Dan Carlin, Hardcore History. No, I'm not getting paid for it.
Wow, that's cool. That's awesome.
Well, it's like in that history series you're talking about, Jeff. I'll never forget. It was a section talking about John D. Rockefeller, and anyhow, he's doing he's a boy. He's doing his schoolwork. His dad comes in. Looks like he has a heavy book wrapped up in paper. Slams on the desk, and he's like, open it up. And he opened it up, and there's like $1 million right there. And he's like, why? He goes, because this, you doing your work now will get you this later. You're not having this. And it kind of, at that point, kind of like triggers him to go into high gear because he didn't like education. He didn't like higher learning. And
Right.
he was really just a bad student because nothing piqued his interest. And at that moment, it really kind of kicked everything into gear for him. That was really awesome. I'll never forget that. And the history in general, I mean, it's where we come from, and history tends to repeat itself. So we learn by our history. Example being what we're going through now. The difference between how St. Louis versus Philadelphia handled the Spanish flu. And I mean, I'm not going to turn this into that, but I mean, a lot of people, they dismiss the history or they take out of schools because somebody got their feelings hurt, and what have you from it. That's one of the biggest issues here.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you.
Something. Actually, speaking of history, I lived through this one, and somebody just sent me a link the other day to a blog. The whole blog was about 2 paragraphs long. And basically it just said, were you aware? And my answer was, no, I wasn't. There was a worldwide pandemic during Woodstock.
Oh, yeah.
1 million people died that year from a specific type of flu. And I never heard of it. I remember Woodstock. And the difference was what they were pointing out. They said back then, the medical community took care of it. Now, governments are involved.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you, Dustin posted something on Facebook, I think it was a couple of days or so ago, that was so true, and we all forget, but very real. And he posted something that basically said to the seniors out there of 2020 that feel like they've been slighted for their senior year in school or college or whatever, let us not forget the seniors that left straight from high school and went into Vietnam between the years of 64 and 70. And they didn't get the recognition they deserved, nor did they get anything, basically, and also went to fight a war they couldn't win. So props to all of those guys. And yeah, Dustin, that kind of puts things in a different light. It made me stop for a second.
And every generation also, the generation before them, World War II. The generation after them, Afghanistan and Iraq, same thing.
Yes. Yeah, so it puts things into a different perspective when we look at it. We all think right now, wow, this is not cool. I don't like having to be home. I don't like having to quarantine. But if you put things in a different perspective and look at what other people that have fought for all of us have gone through, props to all of you guys, and thank you for all of your service to any of you.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
we definitely appreciate it. And yes, we do forget what all you guys and all the women also went through for all of us here in this country to have the freedoms that we have today. So yeah, thank you to all of you.
Yeah, amen.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, because every generation, they're going to have their pivotal moments in that history. My generation being, this is actually multiple generations, but 9/11. I mean, we pretty much all remember where we were at there, and not turn this show into that, but my generation, as far as going to war in Iraq and Afghanistan, I've got two friends that went over there and they're still there. They never came back.
Man.
Type thing, because
all the stuff
IEDs.
that I actually have something that I do repeat often, and Denise can verify this. That the phrase that I use is "Thank you God for the shit I never had to go through," and I'm perfectly serious. And that's a prayer. Thank you God.
That's right.
I get this.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I have a kid over here. Back when Serbia was going through all the stuff that it was going through in the early 2000s, I guess, and my brother had some daughters who had some exchange students came over here from Serbia. So they're sitting here. It's basically when the United States was helping out, in quotation marks, and bombing stuff for them. So they had just come from that, and they're sitting here in this living room with us. And the kid goes, so what do you do for a living? They spoke English really well. And I said, oh, well, we do this and that. And I explained it to him, Photoshop, and he didn't understand. So I took him down to the studio and I showed him Photoshop and what we do. And we come back up here. We're sitting right here at this table. And after we came back up, he's not saying anything. He's just looking around like this. So after about 5 minutes, he goes, you mean to tell me you live here from drawing pictures? Yeah. Thank you, God.
Yeah, that's right. And that's why I say we're all very blessed. There's always somebody else that does have it much worse than what we do. And right now, it does suck what we're having to deal with and go through. But at the end of the day, there's always somebody that's got it worse, you know. And I'm just thankful. I have a problem though, mainly for me, you know, with what we do for a living, that everything else around us seems to be moving on, and we're kind of left sitting in limbo. We can't work. We're not supposed to open, and I'm over it. I mean,
but I see you're looking pretty good.
Hey man, you know you got to do it. Look, I cut my own. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty damn.
See
good.
This?
Yeah.
This is locked in the house.
Yeah.
Around these parts, we call Jeff's sweetness.
Oh, hey. That's right. But yeah, I mean, I'm over it, man. I mean, and, you know, if you listen to a lot of people talk, you know, I think a lot of it's political. I hate to say it, but I really do.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. It is. It's all political.
And I had a client yesterday, and you know, basically they were telling me that they weren't going to come in this time either because the governor has not allowed us to open back up. And I basically wrote her back and I said, well, yeah, you know, our Democratic governor thinks he can flip a switch and it's all going to go away. And I can't believe people have that mentality. And basically she wrote me back and she said, well, I understand it's hard for you to believe in something that's invisible. Well, immediately that really bothered me because I will say this, and I've known this person for a long time because I've been doing her hair for a long time. She is not a Christian, and I know she doesn't believe in Jesus Christ, and I do. I will say it right here tonight. And he is invisible, and yes, I do believe in something invisible, and it's a better power than our government right now. And you know, so that bothered me that she said that. So I didn't even give a response. I'm like, how do you respond back to that? You know, so I just let it go.
You let the clippers slip and you shave the middle of her head.
Hey, you know what?
Whoops.
I found out that I have clients now that have gone from A-list to C-list, and it is what it is, man. You know, and like I said, I hate it, but you know, hopefully things will get straightened out soon. They're saying that May the 22nd, you know, hopefully we're going to have phase 2 of the reopening. I personally don't think it'll happen. I think they're going to prolong it even further. But you know, what do? You kind of got to bow and kiss the knee and do what you have to do and all this good stuff. I just think it's crazy, and we need to move on. The world can't, or the country can't keep surviving this way, man. You know?
No, it can't. It can't. Like, example being the small business loans. had $350 trillion, or excuse me, $350 billion. It ran out in like I think it was 3 days, and it only covered 3% of small businesses.
Yeah, well, that's because small businesses, when the government says small business, they mean with companies with under 500 employees.
Or
that sounds like a big business to me.
12,000 Catholic churches, and regardless of what your religion is, you know that we've always preached, and the foundation of this country was state
separation
federal,
of state,
right? Of from the church. 12,000 churches, Catholic churches. Oh, well, let's just say church. Applied for it. 9,000 got it. I have a problem with that. A very big problem with that. Luckily, my family's business is thriving. Good Lord's blessed us there. But like other people, you see mom and pop shops like hardware stores. But you have Lowe's down the street that I had a lady literally, look, not to get too graphic, but let's just say if she was a male and she was excited, it'd be poking me in the back. But yet she has gloves on and she has a face mask on, and I'm like, lady, like, back up. I don't wear gloves. I don't wear face masks. I'm diabetic, so I'm a high risk anyway. And I'm just like, if the Lord's going to take me, he's going to take me. Like, I can't do anything. Whatever.
Right. That's right.
We're all going to die someday, and I'm not going to go out kicking and screaming. Even that's the way I came in this world.
Actually, the mask is for, that's the, people always think of masks as it's protecting you. Masks protect other people from you.
Right.
So surgeons wear masks so they don't spit in the body they're operating on.
Yeah. Or sweat it at one.
Yeah.
Just like yesterday, I walked in this place to get some subs for me and my son. And I'm standing there, and, I don't have a mask on, of course, because it's just me and my son and the two people fixing the subs. And this woman walks in, and she's got on no mask, but she's got gloves on. And I wanted to look at her and go, really? I mean, what are the gloves doing for you? I'm not quite sure I understand. It doesn't come through your skin, okay, Shug?
Right.
But, like I said, ignorance is bliss. You go to Lowe's. This past weekend, I go in there, man. Like again, people walking around with their mask down under their nose like that.
You haven't seen, because you have only been on Facebook for like 36 hours. But there's a woman that went into a convenience store and she cut out like the center section of the mask. And the guy's like sitting there with the video camera, like kind of not trying to be so. He's trying to be discreet about it. And he's like, "What'd you do to your mask?" She goes, "This thing is just so hard to breathe, so I cut it here so I can breathe better." And he's like, "Oh, I think I'll try that. Thanks for the tip."
Exactly.
I mean,
and the funny thing is, here in North Carolina, it hadn't even got really hot yet. I mean, can you imagine when it's 100 degrees outside? Can you see somebody wearing these masks? They're not going to do it.
Yeah, not at all.
I mean, so I'm just like, you can't live in a bubble. You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. I'm like Dustin. If it's meant to be, it's going to be. I don't want to get sick. I don't want to go. But hey, you know what? If it does, whatever. I mean, I just can't live my life on what ifs, man. That's not living, people.
Right.
Well,
well, you can live your life on like, what if I got that Corsair?
Yeah.
That's a different kind of what if.
That's right, man.
Oh, that's very true. But the thing that burns me up, and I saw like a Facebook post about it. I'm like, to be sure, I'm not going to see this in real life, like reality, right?
Yes.
What it was, I had to go to Lowe's to get some fittings for some coolant for my machine. Anyhow, as I'm walking up to the line, I see this dude, gloves on, holding some Cheetos, some spicy Cheetos, and eating them with his gloves on.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
I just want to be like, I literally stood there and thought for a second. I'm like, they really do live among us.
Yeah, I mean,
you're supposed to take the gloves off before you start picking your nose.
Yes. It's crazy, man. Some of the mess you're seeing. It's like people riding around in their car with a mask on. I'm like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
They're protecting the car.
No, that was me you saw, because just too dumb to remember to take it off when I got back in the car.
Who told me?
I
Somebody
realized
told
I
me.
still had the mask on when I went unconscious. So
Somebody told me, they were like, if you really want to know how good your mask works, wear it in your car and then fart. Somebody told me that. I want to say it was you, Jeff. I can't remember who. But
That's like I saw a meme on Facebook or something the other day, and this guy's sitting on the beach in his chair by himself with his fishing rod in the water, and this cop walks up to him in full riot gear, and he points and he goes, "Sir, you got to leave this beach now. It's dangerous, but go to that Walmart over there and you'll be okay."
the funniest one I saw was there is a some guy had set this up, brilliant, like executed it awesome. So he put out like a lawn chair on the beach, put out like some glass beer, so you're not supposed to have glass, so that kind of triggered that. Had a fishing pole in the sand, like he's surf fishing, and there's a guy that has his back to like the walkway when you get onto the beach, and like there's cops and stuff around them, and you see them like, you know, one photo they're away from him, one photo they're closer, then the next photo they're there at them or at the guy, and then the final photo it's like a blow up doll. And somebody had put out on the beach, and the cops it got the cops really good. And cops in the background, they're laughing and cheesing. We're like, they just got played. But hell, you had a guy in the ocean paddling on his I don't know what kind of board, longboard, whatever. And he's just paddling, just minding his own business. He's the only one around other than Jaws and Flipper. And they had two California, I guess they're highway patrol or anyway municipality boats come and get this guy out of the water, picked him up and then arrested him for it I guess trespassing or for violating
being in the ocean.
Well, because everybody
being in the ocean. But it's okay if you go to Lowe's, Home Depot, the grocery store, or Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's like, the guy the surfer that was bit and killed the other day by a shark,
But he died of COVID.
I heard when he got to the hospital, he died of COVID.
Yeah. Well, he got bit by a shark because he went into the ocean after seeing Jaws. I saw Jaws when it came out, 1976. I have not been in the ocean once since then.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
exactly.
I don't want to be food.
You'll okay. Story time. My parents used to have a camper at the beach, and I always would bring 1 or 2 friends down. This time it was toward somebody's birthday, so I was like, hey, you can come down and bring your friends and meet us down there. Anyhow, and I mentioned, I was like, man, it is so stupid that people get in the water and they hang out by the pier when people are fishing. You got small fish wants to bait, big fish wants a small fish, really big fish wants the medium-sized fish. So we get, and I remember saying this vividly. Hour or two later passes, we go down to the beach, and the only way to get on the beach is right at the pier entrance. So we go to the pier, but typically we take a right, we walk about 400 yards. This time we had a lot of stuff, so we just set camp up, not even thinking about it. I get in the water, and I just happen to look up, and we're all having fun. They're all splashing, a lot of people in the ocean. And I just happen to look up at the pier, and I see all these people converge in a single point that's almost in line with me. I'm like, this don't look good. And they're pointing down in the water, and one guy goes, shark! And then everybody starts flipping and flopping around, splashing up water, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, he's gonna get y'all. I'm sitting my ass right here. I'll never forget as long as I live.
Tells you to be still, be still.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Somebody yells shark, and everybody immediately starts looking like shark food as much as they can.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
So we get out of the water, and the shark starts to come up. He's chasing a fish that actually comes up almost on the shore. It's a long black tip shark, harmless, but still has teeth. This drunk guy decides that he's gonna pull a Steve Irwin, and thinks it's an alligator, and runs up to the shark and tries to jump on top of it. I guess to ride it, wrestle it. I don't know. Maybe he's gonna drop the people's elbow from the rock. I don't know. And anyway, when he jumped, I guess the shark like moved real fast, so he just like went face plant into the sand, like shells and everything, like cut his face up, cut his body up, and the shark just kind of like swim all for all life.
It's like, did you see the thing on the news the other day where the girl hairdresser, I think, or nail person, she goes to the people's house in Florida, and she sees an alligator, and they're like, no, don't go out there. That thing dragged a deer in the water a week ago or so. And she goes out there to see it, and the damn alligator comes up and grabs her by the leg, man, and she doesn't even fight or yell, and it pulls her into the water. And the last thing she said to the couple standing there watching is, well, I guess I won't try that again. And she's gone, man. Disappeared.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that is a true story. That is a true story.
Is that a video somewhere?
I don't know if there was a video. My wife saw it on the news, and there may be some footage. I don't know, but it is a true story. And they said she had a couple of glasses of wine or something before she got to the people's house.
Liquid courage.
But yeah, she walked right out there, and an alligator come up and grabbed her by the leg, and as it pulled her in the water, she says to the couple standing there, well, I guess I won't try this again, and it pulled under, and that was it. She didn't even scream, didn't fight, did nothing, and that was it.
Damn.
Well, you know, some people are mean drunks, and some people she's a stupid drunk,
Drunk, exactly.
which is different from stupid fast.
They got
That's
that
good.
video of
She wanted to see the alligator. Well, she got to see it from the inside. You know?
right. Be like Moby Dick story, but alligator edition.
Yeah. Well, it's like the butcher. The guy said, well, I can get a good look at the steak by sticking my head up a bull's ass. But I'm going to take the butcher's word for it.
Right. Well, there was that video, and it's on YouTube. It's like a little chihuahua, like small little like lap dog. And the people are like, they live like in Florida and they have like alligators. Anyways, the alligator came up and like the dog was like, meow, 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 and the alligator, would go back into the water. Well, one day the alligator that came up wasn't that original alligator. It was another one. So when he went to, the alligator grabbed that dog and you hear him go, oh no! And like the dog is like whimpering, like pulls him in the water and it makes a meal out of it. But the whole time people were sitting there laughing, like, "Oh look, he's got so much courage!" And it bit him in the butt, literally.
Well, that's like in our lake house, man, down on the other side of Wilmington. We got alligators down there like crazy. My wife was actually there yesterday and day before, and the weather's warm here now. And she said there were alligators everywhere in the canals and everything. And so when we have friends come down, we're wakeboarding out in the lake, surfing and everything. And people are like, I'm not getting in that water. I'm like, look, man, nobody down here has ever been bit by an alligator. So they stay over here in the canals. That's their buffet line. You don't worry about that. Alligators are actually lazy creatures, They don't like to be approached by people, especially if they have a good food source. And over there they do. So they don't bother anybody in the lake. But it wigs people out to see a 12-foot alligator laying on the bank across the canal. It's pretty damn big.
Just a little.
Yeah, that's a big alligator, man.
Well, it's like one of my friends, he sent me a picture, and he goes, dude, this is a huge snake. Like, okay, I get it. Some people don't like snakes, some people don't like spiders. Me, I'm just kind of like, man, look, if a spider comes in here, I'll put him outside. I ain't going to try to kill a guy because he's eating insects and whatnot. But anyway, he's like, should I kill it? And he sent me a picture. I'm like, no, man, that's a king snake. I was like, they have attitude problems. They can be real dick sometimes. But on the other hand, they eat copperheads, they eat water moccasins, they eat like the pests, and they eat like the bad snakes. He goes, I thought all snakes were bad. I was like, go pet him on the head and see what happens.
I used to live with a guy back in the day who had, let's see, 8 boa constrictors and a python. He was the best animal namer ever. So the python's name, of course, was Monty, but all the boas had names like, I can only remember a few of them, Jaja Boa, Humphrey Beauregard, and Rocky Balboa. and the other ones all had names just as good as that one, too. We used to put them on, and we lived in this house that we were renting that they were trying to sell while we were living there. So whenever a real estate agent would show up, we would just drape snakes on ourselves and go answer the door. And the people would go, ah! They'd like run away.
Go away, yeah.
Put the snakes back in the cage.
Yeah, they were Blitzo.
It was great. Nobody ever bought the house.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
All right, so look, brother, it's we've been on almost 2 hours now, so we need to let these good people get out of here. Anybody got any last questions for Steve before we let these awesome people go tonight?
Oh, just so all of you guys know, so you should make the suggestion. It's your show, right? We should all get together in one place with all the video people and make one big video party.
That's right. We need to call it Plain Stock.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm liking that.
Plain
Oh,
stuff.
That's right.
Well, it's
Plain Stock.
Steve, it's like I was telling Jeff, we're talking about we would get like an RV and go to Joe Knoll and kind of just let loose because we ain't got nowhere to be for the next like week, right? I was like, man, we party hard. I'll get my I got a good friend that's a doctor, another one that's a nurse. I was like, I probably can get us some IV lines and some saline bags. I was like, that'd be a trip. Having two guys with an IV stuck to their arm on the flight line because they got so hammered the night before. They're trying to get flushed and hydrated. And just flying around. I'll tell you, dude,
no, I can fly.
That'd be
That's
epic.
when you have your IV pole with your thing, your green sign or your red sign on top that you spin around.
Yeah.
Flying or not,
Oh man,
I'm right.
that'd be so funny. But yeah, I'm excited. I hope this. I hope
Foam stock.
Oh,
They got it
RC
right.
Air Marshal says foam stock.
That's
a good
it.
one.
Foam stock. That's awesome.
Foam stock.
That's it.
Homies
But hey,
with
guys-
homies. Oh, Mike, I like that one.
Yes.
Homies with homies.
There you go.
No, that'd be cool. Like, I'm.
Okay, now we got a name. Now all we got to do is see. It could be a Joe Knoll, except that I personally, anyways, they'd throw me out of there. So we probably need some place that there's nobody around who knows what people are supposed to do with RC planes.
Well, I know a few people that have been to Joe Knoll. They didn't get kicked out. So I mean,
Well,
hey,
Marshall might be an exception.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're not living until you roll the dice, right? But no, I'm really excited for Joe Knoll this year, following all this year. Yeah, because it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, I think so too. Be awesome. So how far are you? You guys are in New York, right, Steve?
New York.
Yeah, which part of New York are you from, man?
Hey, forget about it.
Upstate New York.
See, everybody, actually, I read this in a magazine once and it turned out to be true. All you have to do is get this phrase in front of anybody and have them pronounce it. And only New Yorkers can say it this way. You jerky bastard, you. Try it.
I can't say it right.
She's not from New York originally. She can't say it.
Well, that's like my buddy that used to be from Long Island. He said we went to Kmart one day and he asked the girl, he said, "Where you cheers?" And the girl said, "Our what? We're Southern. You cheers." And she looks at me and I looked at her and I said to her, "You chairs." He said,
Yeah.
You pool chairs. Where you pool chairs?
We have ours down here. Well, I used to have a dog named Boss.
Yeah, and we get a beer at the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like our buddy, he's from Boston. He calls it the carpeting. We've been to carpeting.
Yeah.
Whereabouts in New York are you guys at? Because my wife, she's from Binghamton area, Endicott.
Okay, I went to school there. But
Oh, really?
We're actually south of Binghamton, like
We're
two-
north
like
of
2 hours,
Manhattan,
yeah.
about 90 minutes north of Manhattan, right where the mountains start. That's where we are.
Yeah, because we would go because Binghamton here is right there at the border of Pennsylvania, and I like oh yeah, I live upstate. I'm like, no, this is the south part of the state. Like upstate is like up north Canada. They're like, no, it's
Yeah.
upstate. If you don't live on the island in Manhattan or New York City, like you live upstate, regardless of what direction is actually what. You live upstate.
Yeah.
That's right.
If you're from Long Island, I grew up on Long Island. Upstate is anywhere on the other side of Manhattan.
Yes.
Right.
It's all upstate.
And so when I went, they're like, do you do these things called like pig pickings? I'm like, yeah. They're like, do you tip cows? I'm like, hell yeah.
Cow
Like,
tipping, we do that.
they're like,
And how about a hush puppy? How about a hush puppy?
yeah.
There's no hush puppies up here.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a dog. No, that's a shoe.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, it should. And then when you say barbecue down here, we mean pulled pork.
Yeah.
Y'all say barbecue, they're talking about cooking out.
Yeah, I still don't know what pulled pork is.
It's
I like the
barbecue.
first time we went to my sister's house in Ohio, and I bought a soda, a Coca-Cola, and the girl says, "You want a sack for your pop?" And I said,
What?
"What?" Because a sack is a paper bag and pop is soda, and it's like, no, that would be a paper bag for your soda in New York. So it's a big country.
Yeah, it is, man. Like I said, my buddy was from Long Island. Yeah.
Long Island.
And he told me about the grinders.
Oh no, that's Philly.
Oh, Philly. Okay. All right.
In Long Island, they have heroes.
Okay. I got you.
Go.
Well, Dustin, ask your wife if she knows about Speedies, because that's something that's only up there by Binghamton.
Yeah. Oh no. And then they have like Little Italy up there. Like we had this So I'd never seen a pizza as big as her roof of her car until I went up there. I'm like,
yeah, but how did it taste?
oh, it tastes phenomenal.
Okay.
Like,
well, actually, yeah.
I was
New York State,
diabetic then, and when I ate that pizza, if I knew it would kill me, I would eat another damn pizza. It was that good. It was
we actually got a pizza once at Mystic Pizza.
Oh.
But the funniest thing to me was we went back up there again, and they're calling for snow. I'm like, oh, cool, whatever. So we're staying at a hotel. I woke up like at 5:30 in the morning, and there's like, I don't know, probably like 2 feet of snow. I'm like, we're going to be stuck in for a bit. I woke up then like at noon because there's nothing to do. Woke up at noon and the roads were like clear. It's like in North Carolina, if you mention the S words as we call it, snow, sleet, ice, or anything like that, North Carolina shuts down 3 days beforehand. Like, that shuts down. Everybody buys the bread, everybody buys the milk, and I'm like,
eggs.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell are you gonna do with milk? If the power goes out, it's gonna spoil. Like, it doesn't make sense. I remember they were like buying like cans of like Chef Boyardee because I got a grill, and I'm like, I'll show y'all. But it's so funny.
Chef Boyardee on the grill. Oh yeah.
And now that we have COVID, all the toilet paper and paper towels is gone. So hey.
Well, we happen to have a large shelf in our basement, and when I first went to the store after the COVID hit, and I heard about the toilet paper, so I called Denise up, and I go, honey, how much toilet paper we have? She gets off the phone, comes back, she goes, 49 rolls. I go, okay, we don't need any of that.
Yeah, give it a while. Wait for it.
We still haven't bought any.
Pre-COVID orders, yeah.
It's like I told my wife. I said, okay, you're limited to 2 squares, okay?
Well, that's a tough one.
Try to stay clean, honey.
Well, it's like, what happens after I use 2 squares? You start using your socks. What happens you don't use any socks?
Hot water is.
Okay, now this show is getting really disgusting.
So true story, in the army, they give you 1 square. You put your finger through it. And that piece of paper is to wipe your finger off. They really don't do that. That's my dad was in the military. It's a whole military joke. For those that don't know.
It's like these old people say, well, we used to use corn cobs. I'm thinking, well, couldn't you find anything better than a damn corn cob? I'm just saying,
No, that sounds painful.
Damn. I think I could have found leaves, anything.
Could you imagine if millennials, so my generation, which I absolutely hate, I'll be the first person to say it.
It's called know your leaves before you start wiping your butt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Imagine, I could see like a pandemic of like butthole poisoned ivy.
Yeah, exactly. Not a pleasant thing.
It'd be like one of those commercials. Like, do you have that scratch or that itch that you just can't
You
scratch?
just can't scratch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man,
Have you lost that not so fresh feeling?
Here's the water hose.
Well, the back scratchers, right?
That's when you be scooting on the carpet.
Oh, be like a dog. Leaving your mark.
The dogs were doing.
Mike goes, Deuces Wild goes, pine cones. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Oh.
He might just be he might just be into some kinky stuff, and man, if he is, more power to him. I'm not a judgment type person.
I like the one after pine cone. This is like a rhyme, right? Leaves of 3, don't wipe with it.
Don't wipe with it.
Oh man, it's too funny. Too much.
Oh.
But yeah, so we're crossing that point of we've been on here for 2 hours. Been a fantastic show tonight, and definitely appreciate everybody that showed up. I know people normally as they go, they come in and out. No worries there. But to wrap it up, does anybody have any questions for Steve?
And also drop a link.
I have a question for. We're gonna play Stump Denise right now. I'm gonna teach you how to play the game, and then everybody can ask their own questions. Okay, ready? Denise, carrots or retractable landing gear?
Retractable landing gear.
Right. Okay. It's impossible to stump Denise.
This is about pressure washer. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's gonna tingle.
Pressure washer.
Pressure washer or
Pressure washer.
ESC?
ESC.
Right.
ESC for the win. Damn right.
When are we going to see more Killer Planes vids?
Oh.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
my fault. I'm working on the vids, guys.
Hey, look, I'm loving seeing your stuff coming back out, Steve. It's been a while. We missed you, man. Love seeing you on there as well, Denise. Always your pretty face. And I really thank you guys for coming tonight. It's an honor to have you here, and just glad seeing you back, man, and glad seeing you do what you love.
Thanks so much for inviting us. We are so thrilled to be here. It was so much fun.
And thanks to the lovely Denise. She actually doesn't believe she's the best plane shooter on the web. I have to give her electric shock therapy every once in a while.
Hey, man, it doesn't hurt that she really makes you look really good, too.
Exactly.
I mean, just saying, man, you know, got to throw it out there, you know. But look, Dustin, if you don't mind, if you haven't, drop a link to Steve's stuff, especially for his website, your shirts. I love your shirts, man. I gotta get me one of those. That is too.
Send him a shirt.
Oh, we're sending you a shirt.
Yeah, let us know what size you are. We'll send you one.
Yeah.
And everybody just keep an eye out for the Kickstarter thing. We'll have a page on the web too for the shark, which is Hawkfighter on steroids. We're not going to be able to guarantee it per se for 50 crashes, but we are going to guarantee it for something like 25.
Oh, that's incredible, man. Well, definitely keep us informed on that, man. Are you going to put out a video with that when it's time?
Yep.
Awesome.
That should be out pretty soon.
Good deal. Good deal. Can't wait to see that. Awesome. Cool. Well, guys, I appreciate you so much. Like I said, it's an honor to have you here, and we'll do it all again. And feel free to come anytime and hang out with us. This has been great.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it, and we had a great time.
No, but next time we're going to be spectators leaving rude comments on YouTube channel.
Always.
You call that a mustache?
Hey, we love the lurkers. You know what I'm saying? That's right. Definitely. All right. Well, Dustin, man, what you going to add? Anything in there?
That's pretty much it, my friends. Everybody's pretty much had their questions asked. We're just thinking, hey, great show, awesome guests. Glad to see you guys are still out there making the videos. Saying they love y'all's channel, love the videos, and they look forward to y'all's Kickstarter.
Thank you, and thanks for all your great technical skills.
Oh,
Thank you for helping us make this happen.
This is what we call the School of Hard Knocks.
Hey, we're all still learning and stuff too, guys. So we learn every time we do this, but we have a great time doing it. Dustin does a great job. And look, next Tuesday night, now his YouTube channel is Raven Rock Aviation and Machine. So definitely subscribe to him. Yeah. And we do the show on his channel every other Tuesday night. Mm-hmm. So definitely, if you're free, please tune in and join us and lurk in the comments. We'll be looking for you to be lurking.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be lurking.
That's right. Be waiting for it.
Steve's subscribing right now.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Fantastic. I appreciate you
Yeah.
guys. Hey, there's some new people that have showed up. Remember, if you see somebody that's new that you don't recognize, go check out their channel. YouTube has made it where you can't select them in the chat, so you just open up another window and and look at their stuff. If you enjoy their stuff, subscribe to them.
You can't select them in the chat?
Not
Yeah,
anymore.
not anymore, because they would make like.
Let's move the gas pedal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
but I appreciate
Like-
all you guys. Thank you for always supporting us and what we do. It means a lot. Thanks to Bledsoe for letting us get this spot. I know we say this all the time, and yes, it's like a broken recorder, but we're just that thankful
Yes.
for Bledsoe giving up for us.
And
We
go
need
down, go down the weekly lineup, Dustin, for each show each night, so everybody gets their shout out.
So if you're new here, and if you're not, cool, but you're going to hear it again because we do it all the time. So Monday we got Dave Marshall, the Air Marshal himself. He comes on at 8. And then Tuesday you got the good-looking guy, then the old guy. No, Jeff comes with RC, and then me, Dustin, with Raven Rock Machine and Aviation. Then on Wednesday we have Ethan's RC. Now Ethan's important, especially to me, because he's I don't say he's a kid. Well, he is. I'm 32. I can say he's a kid now. I got that privilege. He is the newcomer into our hobby. Without people like Ethan, our hobby can't survive. So support him if you can, please. Then after Ethan, we have I always call him GB Linden. Ryan. Great reviews as well. Then on
And
Thursday.
Don't forget Ray Guniak.
Oh, that's right. My apologies, Ray. My bad, Ray. What time does Ray come on?
He comes on after Air Marshal on Monday nights.
That's right. My apologies, big man. My
Yeah.
show. My bad.
Well, he just started, so come on now. Hey, come on.
I know, but I still feel bad. And then, so Thursday, if you're not out like me, you got the man himself, the marathon of Kenny.
Hangar 51.
And on Friday, we have Dave's RC. You never know what you're going to get. He is like Forrest Gump. Exactly that. You never know what you're going to get. So then on Saturday, we have Mr. OG himself, the pilot, Mr. Pilot Ryan. I can't talk. You know what? I'm done.
Yeah, Pilot Ryan with the Pilot Ryan and which is also the Pilot's Lounge with the Hangar Rats. And then, if you need merchandise, if you need planes, if you need Arrows planes, E-Flight planes, Horizon Hobby, go to pilotryanmedia.com. You might can save a couple of bucks using his link. Also helps him out a little bit. All these guys, like we have GB Linden that also has an affiliate link with Amazon. He does a show, Hump Day RC on Wednesdays, right after Ethan RC goes off. So yeah, I mean, we try to share the love and represent all of our buddies out here because they do the same thing for us. So Steve, if you haven't checked out any of these guys in their show and you guys have a minute, drop in, say hey, we'd love to have you. And all these guys have good shows, man. They really do.
Yeah, we're actually trying to, that's why I'm looking down now. I'm trying to get all this stuff in.
Yeah. Well, like I say, they all have good shows, and they're big. And Pilot Ryan, if you haven't been in his show on Saturday nights, he has a large crowd. He can have anywhere from 250 to 500 people in a chat.
Oh man, yeah, I love his stuff.
Yeah, big shows, and he's been doing a lot with the new HSD jets, which are the 120 millimeter jets. Man, the T-33 is huge.
And as our commander-in-chief would say, that's huge. It's
huge. Yeah.
I think it needs a V8 engine.
Hey, it almost has one, man. It's 12S, okay? 12S. Yeah, so definitely check them out, man. And you guys come in and enjoy us. And then on Sunday nights, we have Boozer's RC at 8 o'clock, and they have really cool stuff from tanks to boats to detailing and painting and weathering plane and Papa Dotting the plane. So if you haven't checked out Boozer's, check them out as well. They have a great channel on Sunday nights too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you like Steve, you would like them as well, man, because they do a lot on almost, you know, like painting the planes and dotting the planes and doing some cool stuff with their stuff as well. So you like them too.
Very artistic. If anything, go over to their like Instagram.
Yeah.
Check out their is it Tiger Tank? Or
Yes.
King Tiger?
You mean,
check
Oh,
out.
nice
like
Sherman.
this one?
Oh man, that's huge.
What was that, Dustin?
That is
Nice
huge.
Sherman. Oh, Barry Boozer. They so they've got the RC tanks that Motion now carries, and he like weathered one up. Like it has like mud. I mean, it's just awesome. It really looks really
You
good.
like Steve? You like those a lot, Steve? They're the Henlongs that Motion RC is now selling, and and they put out smoke and they sound like diesel motors and the whole nine yards.
Actually,
Really,
right before I discovered foamies, I was into tanks, and I almost bought a 1/6 scale metal Tiger tank. They weigh about 300 pounds.
oh man,
It's huge.
yeah.
And almost went there. They're like $4 or $5 grand or something like that. And then I discovered foamies way cheaper.
Yeah, no doubt.
Give me the foamies.
Yeah, that's cool though. Love it.
But before we leave here, Dave, Mr. Air Marshal said, crash-proof the HSD. That big.
We can do that.
And
It's
they've got,
foam, right?
They recently
If
just came out with a T-33.
Yes, big.
Beautiful plane. Go check out Pilot Ryan's video on it and his flights on it. I mean, as big as it is, gets off the ground quick, and it slows way down.
It's got an 80-inch wingspan, Steve. 80-inch wingspan.
And it's foam?
Foam
Yes.
jet. A foam
what-
jet.
Because
Is that
that's
the request for
pretty
that?
much the only thing you can reinforce the way we do it is foam planes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's foam. It's flying off of 12S, 80-inch wingspan, and it's massive, but a beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, Tim the Toolman Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or as he said in his, we heard of him before he was on TV, his comedy routine.
Mm-hmm.
And there was something about he came downstairs, had some workmen at his house, and he goes, "Oh, what's that?" And the guy goes, "Well, sir, this is a pneumatic air gun, and you can staple this phone book to the brick wall with it." And he goes, "All of a sudden, I need one of those."
Exactly.
Awesome, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on. Again, it's been a fantastic time here. Thanks again for people that have stayed with us, because we're approaching 2.5 hours now.
Yeah, and thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you so
Hey.
much.
Love it. Had a great
We're
time.
gonna, it's funny because I didn't even know about this stuff, so I'm gonna be checking all this out. We've been madly looking up everything that you've been telling us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna email you so I can get more links from you. Okay?
Yes, please do, and we will definitely get them out there, and we'll also keep dropping them on our show weekly as well too. So, we love to keep you guys in the loop and keep you going with us. Stay with us.
Thank you so much.
All right, there's
Hey,
one thing I want to throw out there, just for anybody. Somebody has to come out with technology that puts the cameras right in the eyeballs of the person you're looking at on screen. So when you look at them, you're looking at their eyes instead of over here somewhere.
Yeah. Look, we just start getting cameras and putting them on our forehead.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
Right, yeah.
thanks, man.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank you
you.
guys.
Thank you.
Everybody have a great week.
See you on the flight line.
Yeah,
That's right. You guys have a good night.
You too.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. See ya.
I don't know how
All right, are we
I
out?
don't know how to be either.
Yeah, we out.